Parmageddon 2013. Give a round of applause for these people right here. Hey. At exactly 2 p.m. so that we can collectively crack over 500 wheels of Parmesan across the world. Whole Foods is hoping to set a new Guinness World Record in this endeavor. So last year, the standing record was 350 wheels about, and we're going to break that by 150 wheels all across the nation as well as across the world. Now, what is Parmesan and why is it the king of cheese? Well, there's a very good reason. Parmesan is very tightly controlled by Consorzio in Italy. It is controlled by the Italian law. It's made by 5 provinces: Parma, Reggio Emilia, Modena, Bologna, and Mantova. The cheese itself is controlled by these by the Consorzio, and there's strict laws in regards to how it's made, how it's produced, as well as its export. Whole Foods gets its cheese primarily from the Modena section, and you can tell that by the Consorzio. Can you turn that around? By the cafe. Turn it. Turn it more. It's upside down. That's okay. There's a number on each and every single wheel of Parm. It's called the Cassaficio number. Ours is 2566, which means that our cheese comes from the Modena section in northern Italy, and it comes from about 10 dairy farms. The farm itself, the Cassaficio, is called Cassiera San Luca. It was founded in 1962. It's a 10-member co-op with about 600 cows that produce this milk each and every single year. Collectively, the Cassaficio will produce around 3,500 wheels of Parm. And our cheesemaker is named Paolo, and he has a remarkable resemblance to the puppet up here that our cheese buyer is waving to everyone. 2 minutes. So they make about 8 to 10 wheels of cheese per day, and they're aged for a minimum of 24 months. Each every single wheel is hand selected. It's carefully investigated until it's ready to be exported to the country as well as Whole Foods. Each wheel also has identification numbers on the top of the cheese, even though this one is reversed, that marks the history of the cheese itself. And a really good example of this is this right here. It says GEN 11, which basically means that the cheese was created in January of 2011. So the cheese is being aged for 2 years before it's finally brought to the U.S. 150? 152. 1 minute and 50 seconds till a new world record is breaking. So in terms of the Guinness World Record, we are taking careful images of the cheese itself. We're going to time it. We're also going to have a countdown to when we're actually going to crack the Parm. We're going to take photos and video while we're doing it, as well as afterwards. And once we're done cracking the Parm, stick around, folks, because we're going to be giving out a lot of really good samples. I'll be talking about some of the uses for Parmesan Reggiano, as well as how you can integrate it into your daily diet. 1 minute out. 120. 120.
I know.
What's that? Start the engines.
I know you got to move it over there.
So today's team members that are going to be cracking the Parmigiano, I'll introduce them in order. We have Whitney Pugh. Give a round of applause, please. In the center with the tinfoil hat is Edmund King. And at the end we have Vanessa and Antonio. A real Italian up here. And we have 40 seconds. So, I'm going to be counting down when it's going to be 2 o'clock. And I encourage you to join with me. So we'll go 10, 9, 8, 3, 2, 1, and then a loud buzzer will start. They'll initiate the cracking period. Can you do the buzzer?
Just want to make sure I do.
So once the buzzer sounds, we will begin cracking. It'll take a couple minutes to actually crack the wheel in half. Our goal is to crack it right in half. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go! Give a round of applause! At this current moment, all around the World, we are cracking over 500 wheels of Parmesan Reggiano.
Oh, that's my time.
Electric blue is the music that signifies when the Parmesan is being cracked. So as you can see here, what they're doing is they're scoring the Parmesan cheese, and they're using a very specific set of tools. They're called stilettos. These tools were designed especially for Parmesan. The first tool they're going to be using is basically a hook blade where they're going to score through the tough rind. And you really need to do this because Parmesan is one of the hardest cheeses that we have in stock. It has a very thick rind. The cheese itself is going to be a little bit harder than most. And as they're cutting through the rind, they're going to be sticking these stilettos. Usually they're going to start off with a sharp pointed end, and that's going to create a little tiny wedge inside the Parmesan. Now make no mistake, cutting Parmesan is a lot of work. Every time I do it, I break a sweat. And it requires a lot of physical strength because they need to wedge it open, carefully get the blades in there, as well as maintain the structural integrity of the cheese as it's being cut. Another tool that they use is the wedge piece, which is a little bit thicker than the initial piercing dagger, and that's going to be used to really crack open the Parmesan a little later on. And the last piece that they use is basically a flat blade edge, which is very useful in terms of just cutting the Parmesan into smaller pieces. And that's what we sell here at Whole Foods. Anytime you buy Parmesan Reggiano, we're doing this, packaging it up, and putting it on display. So the cheese originally comes like this. The cheese wheels are also 80 pounds, so when they have to flip it over, they're using a lot of strength in order to do so. How you guys doing? Yeah?
You guys got this! Yeah!
Yeah, in terms of particular technique, really the best way, again, is to score it all the way around. So you want to make a straight line so you can create two different halves. And then once you get close, you just start carefully wedging it apart as time goes on. Now in terms of the uses of Parmesan Reggiano, oh, we got our first wheel done! Nice! Congratulations, Whitney! Hey. Who will be first, Edmund or Vanessa? Oh, Vanessa looks pretty aggressive on that wheel over there. That's it! Can we have a signal that we have cracked all our parm?
Signal.
Signal. And there we go! We have officially cracked the parm. Oh, nice. So, yeah, stick around. We're going to be giving some samples of the cheese itself. I'd highly encourage you trying some. Freshly cut parm is absolutely delicious, and it's also very good for you too. As opposed to a lot of other cheeses, it actually has a very low fat content, and there's high vitamin as well as mineral content. And a really quick fact about Parmesan cheese, partly why we're doing the whole space thing is that Parmesan was one of the first cheeses in space. It's actually one of the first sanctioned cheeses that is part of astronauts' diets whenever they go to the International Space Station.